Welcome to the wildest showdown you never knew you needed. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, animal lovers and thrill seekers, buckle up, because today's matchup is straight out of a nature documentary gone rogue. In one corner, we've got the red-haired genius of the jungle, the orangutan. This isn't your average tree hugger. We're talking about a primate with the brainpower of a problem-solving ninja. Orangutans have been known to use tools, build daily nests in trees like Airbnb experts, and even fashion umbrellas out of leaves. Seriously, I once watched a video where one unscrewed a water tap just to take a drink. If that's not brain over brawn, I don't know what is. In the other corner, say hello to the laughing nightmare of the savannah, the hyena. Don't let that goofy giggle fool you. This is a stone-cold predator with jaws strong enough to turn bones into dust and a pack mentality that makes them one of Africa's most feared carnivores. I've seen footage of a hyena stealing a wildest leg from a lion and walking away like it just won a prize at a county fair. Savage doesn't even begin to cover it. So here's the question: what happens when brains go toe-to-toe with brutality? Can the orangutan outwit a creature that thrives on chaos, teeth, and teamwork? Or will the hyena's killer instinct prove that sometimes pure aggression wins the day? It's East versus Africa, jungle wisdom versus carnivorous cunning. Who's your pick, and more importantly, how will this clash of survival styles play out? Let's find out. Meet the jungle philosopher. The orangutan enters the ring. Alright folks, it's time to shine the spotlight on a real heavyweight of the treetops. No, not King Kong's cousin or Bigfoot's yoga instructor. We're talking about the one and only orangutan, the red-haired recluse of the rainforest. Don't be fooled by those soulful eyes or that slow, lumbering swing through the canopy. This great ape is packing more than just muscle. It's got brains, and lots of it. In fact, the orangutan is considered one of the smartest non-human primates on the planet. I'm talking tool-using, problem-solving, nut-cracking, lock-picking genius. One orangutan at a zoo once figured out how to short-circuit an electric fence using a stick. Another was caught on camera mimicking human behavior, including washing clothes in a stream. If that doesn't scream jungle IQ, I don't know what does. Let's break down the stats. Weight class: orangutans tip the scales between 165 to 220 pounds. That's basically a moving armchair of muscle swinging through the forest. Reach: their arms span nearly 7 feet. Yeah, Shaquille O'Neal would be jealous. Grip strength: an adult male orangutan can pull with a force nearly 7 times stronger than a fit human. That's enough to yank a tree branch or an opponent clean off their feet. Speed: ground speed, not great. These guys walk slower than a Sunday shopper at Costco, clocking in at under 3 miles per hour. But up in the trees, oh, it's a different story. They move like acrobats on steroids, twisting, swinging, and climbing with ridiculous agility. Try chasing one up a tree and you'll be left staring at your shoes. Weapons of choice: raw, orangey power in those long arms, surprising upper body strength, and a mind that's always calculating. No claws, no fangs, just brute strength, brains, and bone-snapping hugs. Now, let's talk personality. Orangutans aren't the brawlers of the animal kingdom. They're peaceful, solitary thinkers. If the jungle were high school, the orangutan would be the mysterious genius who eats lunch alone but can ace any test without studying. Fighting isn't in their nature, but push them too far, and you'll see a very different side. When cornered or provoked, an orangutan doesn't just throw wild punches. Oh no, it analyzes, it adapts, it strikes when it counts. I like to call it intelligent aggression. It's not about rage, it's about results. Imagine being ambushed by a furry martial artist who also has a master's degree in physics. Scary, right? So here's the million-dollar question. How does a gentle giant with the brain of a chess master stack up in a no-holds-barred brawl against one of nature's most ruthless scavengers? Can strategic thinking, brute strength, and a lifetime of arboreal acrobatics hold up against snarling savagery and raw hunger for chaos? Or will the orangutan's calm and calculation be outpaced by a predator that knows no fear? Stay tuned, because this battle of brains versus brutality is about to take an unexpected turn. Enter the chaos specialist. The hyena steps into the ring. Now, hold on to your safari hats, folks, because we're about to unleash one of the most misunderstood, underestimated, and downright unnerving predators in the entire animal kingdom. I'm talking about the hyena, Africa's grinning troublemaker and tactical terror. Forget everything you think you know. This is no cowardly scavenger creeping around for leftovers. This is a battle-hardened hunter with a bite built like a medieval bone crusher and a brain wired for organized chaos. Let's set the record straight. Yes, they do scavenge. And yes, they laugh kind of. But here's the kicker, hyenas are also elite-level predators. In fact, the spotted hyena is responsible for more successful kills in the African savanna than lions. That's right, Mufasa would be sweating under that mane. Weight class, they come in at around 120 to 155 pounds. Not too flashy on paper, right, but don't let the size fool you. What they lack in bulk, they make up for with pure unrelenting force. Bite force, over 1,100 psi, that's enough pressure to crack femurs, crunch through bones, and shatter dreams. A hyena bite can do to bone what your NutriBullet does to almonds, smooth. Speed, these animals can haul at around 37 miles per hour. That's faster than most neighborhood speed limits. Imagine a laughing buzzsaw chasing you down in the dark. Weapons, a mouth full of bone-destroying teeth, an intimidating cackle that confuses prey and alerts the pack, and, most importantly, teamwork. Hyenas are pack fighters. They hunt like a unit, think like a unit, and finish like a unit. Tactics, hyenas are masters of psychological warfare. They harass, they nip, they feint, then they fall back and regroup. It's not a straight-up slugfest, it's guerrilla warfare on pause. You bleed, you tire, and then boom, you're surrounded and done. Let me tell you, I once watched a documentary where a clan of hyenas took on a full-grown Wildest. It wasn't pretty, they didn't charge in head first. They tested the edges, took turns attacking, and before you knew it, the Wildest was surrounded, limping, and out of time, ruthless, but efficient. And don't even get me started on how these guys make lions nervous. I've seen hyenas steal meals right from a lioness's claws. Sometimes they outnumber the big cats, sometimes they outsmart them. Either way, if they want something, they usually get it. So what makes a hyena dangerous? It's not just the bite, it's not just the speed. It's the combination of guts, grit, and groupthink. This is an animal that thrives on confusion, wears down its enemies, and plays the long game. But here's what I'm dying to know. What happens when a creature of cold, calculated teamwork meets a solitary genius like the orangutan? Can relentless chaos overpower focused intelligence? Will the hyena's pack instincts give it the edge, even in a one-on-one duel? Or will it finally face an opponent who refuses to be rattled, refuses to be outmaneuvered, and knows how to hit back with both muscle and strategy? Get ready, because this fight is shaping up to be a real clash of worlds. One side is all about cunning and composure. The other, noise, numbers, and nasty bites. Who takes the crown when wild instinct meets quiet genius? Stick around, because things are about to get primal. Brains versus bite. The weapons and war plans of our wild warriors. Alright folks, grab your popcorn because this is where things get juicy. We've met the fighters. We know what they're made of. Now it's time to talk battle strategy. In the red corner, we have the orangutan jungle philosopher, part-time tree ninja, and full-time thinking machine. In the blue corner, the hyena, Africa's laughing assassin with jaws that could chew through your car door. Let's break down their arsenals and combat styles. Orangutan, the jungle tactician. Now, don't be fooled by that shaggy orange coat and soulful stare. The orangutan isn't just chilling in the treetops singing jungle lullabies. This great ape is packing heat, and I don't mean guns, I mean gorilla-grade muscle, MacGyver-level intelligence, and the patience of a chess grandmother. Weapons. First up, the orangutan's arms. These bad boys are monstrous. With a reach of nearly 7 feet and strength up to 7 times that of a human adult, they can literally tear branches and probably bones like you snap a breadstick. But wait, there's more. Orangutans are one of the few non-human animals that regularly use tools. I've seen footage of them fashioning spears from branches and even using rocks to crack nuts or whack things they don't like. You give this ape a stick, and it might just invent the bow staff on the spot. Tactics. Orangutans are thinkers. They prefer to stay above the chaos, literally. Their strategy starts in the trees. They climb up, observe the battlefield, and plan. This isn't your average brawler. It's more like a hairy Batman. From a perch high above, they can throw objects, bait opponents, and wait for the perfect time to strike. And when the moment comes, they don't fight recklessly. They dodge, they slip, they counterpunch with that jungle-forged power. Think Muhammad Ali meets Tarzan, I'll be honest. If brains were swords, the orangutan swinging a lightsaber. Hyena, the dirty fighter of the savannah. Now let's talk about the hyena. This isn't some clumsy scavenger bumbling into battle. This is a battle-hardened brawler trained by nature's harshest teachers, drought, lions, and the daily grind of survival in the open plains. Weapons. The number one thing that makes a hyena terrifying, that jaw. It delivers over 1,100 pounds of pressure per square inch. To put that in perspective, that's stronger than a grizzly bear's bite. Yeah, you heard me. These jaws can crack elephant bones like Doritos. And when those teeth sink in, they don't let go. Add to that their speed up to 37 miles per hour and lightning reflexes, and you've got a predator that can hit hard and vanish before you even know what happened. Tactics. The hyena's approach is fast, dirty, and effective. It's not about honor, it's about wearing the enemy down. A hyena will attack with quick bites, retreat before you can counter, then circle back again and again. It's all about creating confusion, drawing blood, and slowly draining the will to fight. Kind of like a street fighter who doesn't play fair and doesn't need to. I once saw a hyena take on a zebra 3 times its size. It didn't rush in screaming. It nipped the legs, dodged the kicks, and just kept the pressure on. 15 minutes later, the zebra was on the ground, and the hyena had dinner for the whole clan. Cold, efficient, relentless. So here's the big question. Can the orangutan's clever tactics and superior strength outmaneuver the hyena's relentless speed and brutal bite? Will high-ground strategy defeat ground-level savagery? Or will the hyena close the distance before the ape can even swing that stick? One thing's for sure, this isn't just a fight, it's a clash of philosophies. Brains versus bloodlust, patience versus pressure. Jungle smarts versus savannah speed. Who are you betting on? Because this is about to go from hypothetical to historic. Stay with us. The real action is just beginning. The showdown in the wild, orangutan versus hyena. Alright, animal fans, gather round because it's time for the main event. We've set the stage, met the contenders, broken down their weapons and strategies. Now, all that's left is to ring the bell and let nature do what nature does best. Are you ready for a fight that could make a lion blink and a grizzly take notes? Setting the stage, where forest meets fury. Our arena is a unique slice of wilderness where the leafy fringe of a tropical forest fades into the golden grasses of the African savanna. Think of it as a neutral zone with just enough trees for one fighter to get clever and just enough open space for the other to let loose. It's late afternoon, the sun casts long shadows, the birds have gone quiet, and the wind carries tension like the opening chord of a spaghetti western. Something's about to go down. Round 1, the standoff, a rustle in the bushes. The unmistakable chuckle of a hyena slices through the silence like a villain entering the scene. It has caught a scent, eyes narrow, ears twitch. There, high up in a tree, an orangutan perches like a furry sentinel, calm, focused, watching. The hyena circles below, tail swishing, letting out short yips and mocking cackles. It's trying to taunt its opponent, trying to bait the brainiac into making a mistake. But the orangutan doesn't flinch. It just reaches for a thick fallen branch, the kind that could double as a baseball bat in the hands of an angry lumberjack, and with surprising grace, swings down to the forest floor. Round 2, first blood. The two predators face off. No backup, no distractions, just raw instinct and centuries of evolution. In a heartbeat, the hyena launches forward, jaws open wide, aiming for the orangutan's leg like it's going for the win in one bite. But the ape is ready. With perfect timing and the force of a wrecking ball, it brings the branch down hard. Whack, right on the hyena's skull. It's a hit that echoes through the clearing. The hyena stumbles, dazed, but not down. You can practically see the stars spinning around its head like a cartoon. Round 3, comeback attempt. Shaking off the blow, the hyena switches tactics. No more straight charges. It begins to circle, fast and low, looking for an opening. Then in a flash, it darts in and sinks its teeth into the orangutan's forearm. The orangutan lets out a roar. This isn't the philosophical ape anymore. This is a jungle warrior. With primal strength, it grabs the hyena by the torso, lifts it clean off the ground, and slams it against a tree trunk with bone-jarring force. The ground shakes, leaves fall. Somewhere in the distance, a monkey probably screams in shock. Final round. The end game. The hyena is hurt. Its legs tremble. Blood trickles from its side. It tries to rise, but the orangutan is already on it. With a two-handed slam straight from the heavens, it pounds the hyena to the ground. Not once, twice, like it's finishing a job that needed finishing. And just like that, silence falls over the forest again. Victory, orangutan. The orangutan stands over the defeated hyena, breathing hard, formatted, but victorious. It doesn't celebrate, it doesn't gloat. It just drops the branch, climbs the nearest tree, and disappears into the leaves like a shadow in the wind. So what just happened? We saw something rare. Not just a fight, but a battle of styles, instincts, and raw determination. The hyena brought speed, ferocity, and killer instinct. But in the end, the orangutan brought brains, brute strength, and battlefield awareness that turned the tide. Now here's the question I'll leave you with. In a world where the faster, meaner predator usually wins, what does it say when the quiet thinker climbs down from his tree and walks away the champ? Stay tuned, because this jungle has plenty more stories to tell. Who's up for gorilla versus crocodile? Or maybe eagle versus honey badger? The wild is waiting. And trust me, it never disappoints. Final bell, who took the crown and why it matters. So here we are, folks, standing in the clearing where fur flew, bones rattled, and evolution had itself a front row seat. In one corner, we had the hyena, nature's cackling chaos machine. Built for pain, packed with power, and driven by pure savage instinct. In the other, the orangutan, the jungle's quiet genius. Patient, precise, and packing enough upper body strength to bench press your car. Let's give credit where it's due. The hyena is no joke. This creature has survived for millions of years by turning teamwork, cunning, and that skull-crushing bite into an art form. But in this one-on-one showdown, with no pack to back it up and no second chances, brute aggression just wasn't enough. The orangutan, on the other hand, played the long game. It used the terrain, thought like a strategist, and when the moment came, it struck like a sledgehammer wrapped in fur. I mean, imagine facing off against a creature that not only thinks but also throws tree trunks like baseballs. That's not a fight, that's a forest-powered beatdown. So what's the real lesson here? This wasn't just muscle versus muscle. It was instinct versus intellect. The hyena relied on primal fury. The orangutan brought brains and brawn in perfect harmony. And that brings us to the message I want you to take away today. You ready? In the wild, speed and strength are great, but they don't always decide the outcome. Sometimes, the creature that wins is the one who pauses, observes, and then strikes with wisdom and precision. Think about that. In your own life, how often do we rush in, jaws open, trying to power through problems with brute force? What if instead, we stopped, climbed a little higher, got a better look at the battlefield, and then acted with purpose? That's the orangutan way. Stay calm, stay sharp. And when the time comes, bring everything you got. Because in the jungle, and in life, being clever under pressure often beats being quick on the draw. So who's next in the wild showdown? Want to see a gorilla go head-to-head with a tiger? How about a honey badger taking on a pack of jackals? The wilderness has no shortage of epic matchups, and we're just getting warmed up. Stick with us, stay curious, and remember sometimes the smartest fighter is the one who walks away without a scratch. Until next time, keep your wits sharp and your inner animal ready. The wild always has another lesson waiting.